Hey, everybody, welcome. This is Creators Creating. I'm Corey Thorell, and I'm here with my co-host, Aubrey Cardon, and we are talking about the heart today. Heart magic, the power of the heart, leading and guiding with the heart, all issues around the heart. Aubrey, jump in here and say hi.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
For detailed at length. Um, Welcome. Well, we've got some people with us today that have been following us for a long time, and we also have some brand new people with us today. And so you are always welcome to be here at Creators Creating. I'm pretty excited today. Been, some of you know I've been really working on my coaching practice and expanding my skill set with spirit and coaching and ideas and the Chinese medicine and all of these different things. So I am ignited in my energy these last couple of weeks. Pretty excited about hanging out with some people in the world, mentors and heroes who are doing what I'm doing, like people who are successful healers, coaches, service providers, people who are really helping people who are now taking it to the next level, which they call the trainer's training. Like there's the service provider. We learned to be a coach because something happened to me. I healed beautifully. I want to give that gift away. So I became a healer and a service provider. Then the next round above that is then we train other trainers to do the same so that we're always expanding on our path of growth. And so I'm excited that I'm expanding in my path of growth. And I want to bring that energy here with you guys today because but Creators Creating, we named it that because that's exactly what we do with every thought that we think. We're manifesting with every energy that we have 100% of the time, if we know we are or not. And so when Aubrey and I were talking about getting together today, we were talking about love and heart and passion and what drives us, and also sometimes there's a little bit of difficulty when we're trying to follow our heart and we've got issues or challenges or problems that are right there in front of us. And I love this phrase that comes up in my training a lot: is the obstacle is the path. We can run around and run around and run around all day long, but really the universe hearing our ask for relief or solutions or for good things says, okay, great. In order to have those things, here's your challenge. And then when we conquer that next challenge, we graduate to the next challenge. So they never go away, but we gain and we practice and we hone our skills. So that being said, let's open up with the 4 agreements like we always do. I'm going to repeat them twice, and here they are. Personal material shared in our circle is for this circle. Personal material shared in our circle is for this circle. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We ask for what we need and we offer what we can. We ask for what we need and we offer what we can. And from time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And from time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And so our circle is open. And Aubrey and I, we both collected a little poem, a little art and beauty, something to share. So I'm going to pass the feather to Aubrey to read the poem that she found. Aubrey, come on here.
All right. This poem is called Self-Love by Elaine Leave. Once when I was running from all that haunted me to the dark, I was succumbing to what hurt unbearably, searching for the one thing that would set my sad soul free. In time, I stumbled upon it, an inner calm and peace, and now I am beginning to see and to believe in who I am becoming and all I've yet to be.
Nice. So beautiful. Who was the author again?
Lang Leave is his or her name, their name.
And then I collected, some of you may know, the Mark Nepo book, The Book of Awakening. This has been around for a long time. It's a daily passage for every day of the year, a little meditation and things. And this popped into my hand this morning, and I haven't looked at this in a minute. And I want to read today's offering, October 30th. the art of facing things. What people have forgotten is what every salmon knows. Salmon have much to teach us about the art of facing things. In swimming up waterfalls, these remarkable creatures seem to defy gravity. It is an amazing thing to behold. A closer look reveals a wisdom for all beings who want to thrive. What the salmon somehow know is how to turn their underside from center to tail into the powerful current coming at them, which hits them squarely. And the impact then launches them out and further up the waterfall, to which their reaction is, again, to turn their underside back into the powerful current that, of course, again, hits them squarely. And this successive impact launches them further up and out the waterfall. Their leaning into what they face bounces them further and further along their unlikely journey. From a distance, it seems magical, as if these mighty fish are flying, conquering their element. In actuality, they are deeply at one with their element, vibrantly and thoroughly engaged in a compelling dance of turning toward and being hit squarely that moves them through water and air to the very source of their nature. In terms useful to the life of spirit, the salmon are constantly faithful in exposing their underside to the current coming at them. Mysteriously, it is the physics of this courage that enables them to move through life as they know it so directly. We can learn from this very paradox, for we too must be as faithful to living in the open if we are to stay real in the face of our daily experience. In order to not be swept away by what the days bring, we too must find a way to lean into the forces that hit us so squarely. The salmon offer us a way to face truth without shutting down. They show us how learning into our experience, though we don't like the hit, moves us on. Time and time again, though we'd rather turn away, it is the impact of being revealed through our willingness to be vulnerable that enables us to experience both mystery and grace. So it's a little story of the salmon facing it, and it putting its underbelly into the current, and it there's something about that resonated with me as I read that this morning. Before we start talking about the heart, let's pass the feather a little bit. Let's get some voices in here. What in Aubrey's poem about love, and also the story of the salmon, and also knowing that we're talking about heart today, anything sparking, questions, comments, noticings, learnings? Anybody have anything to offer? Anything sparking for you? Okay.
I kind of think it's ironic that the salmon turns and faces the current to only exhaust itself, spawn, and die. But that's just my dark sense of humor coming through, I guess, right now. That's it. That's it.
Right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Josh.
Yep.
Something amazing about the life, because they go to spawn, which continues their life.
Yeah, the drive, the fundamental, they don't know, they just do. That drive is just inherent.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen salmon flop up a fish ladder around a dam, I mean, they're doing the thing, man.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joshua.
Yeah.
All right, I'm passing the feather to Aubrey.
All right, folks. So, like Corey said, today we're going to be talking about the heart and the importance of being heart-centered. And so I think everybody here has seen, oh, well, we have some new people today. Do you guys want to look at the toroidal field infinity picture again, or I'll just describe it again. So our heart is the center of our toroidal field, and our toroidal field is basically our electromagnetic field that is it's essentially our spaceship. It holds all of the information of our personality, who we are, our memories, how we react to things. And at the very, very, very center of that is our heart. And our heart is shaped like an infinity symbol, and it moves through our toroidal field and helps all of our energy move. So obviously, it's a pretty it's a pretty important part of keeping us here and keeping us well and keeping us in whatever state that we prefer to be in. Now, sometimes we experience trauma that will kind of disrupt the flow of our heart. And so, and when I say trauma, I mean literally anything that is, I thought the world was this way, and then very abruptly, it's actually this way. And that can be things like painful things like having someone attack you or something like that. But it can also be your entire worldview changing too abruptly. And what happens then is basically part of your being is in one place, and another, and it doesn't quite catch up to the rest of your being that is now shifting into a new worldview. And that will kind of cause what we call fractures. So all of us, everybody has experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form. It's one of the ways in which we learn. And as we learn more and more to keep our heart together, we learn how to adapt to things. And pretty soon, like the more that you make friends with change and the flow of the universe, the less that a change of worldview is dramatic. And pretty soon you can kind of just resonate as your full self. But in order to do that, you kind of need to go into the pieces of you that have already been through kind of some of these abrupt changes and have been left a little bit behind. So all of us, this is where we get into what we call parts work. At different points in your life, when you've experienced trauma, you have parts of you that are now kind of trapped in that at that age and in that moment and when that happened, and that piece of you still remains with you and kind of stays in your body. And as you interact with the world, you'll find that piece will call out in order to try to like come back into your field. And that can happen through being reactionary. Like sometimes you'll find that like reactions that you have are coming from a traumatized place. And it can be really frustrating if you don't understand what's going on and why you're acting in certain ways. And it can be very easy to fall into shame cycles. And the shame cycles that the humans have kind of put themselves through, that all of us have put us through, have that what they do is kind of keep that piece even further away. It just tries to push this piece that's trying to come back to you further and further away. And ultimately, the only thing that's going to bring that piece back into you is loving it. And that means loving everything that has transpired because of it. So if you have been acting, if you have been reactionary, if you have put your trauma onto somebody else, and if you've acted out of anger, and if you have shame or regret about the things that you have kind of done as a result of these fractured states, the only way to actually bring that piece of you back in is to love every part of it and really forgive yourself. And we're going to stop there and see what you guys think about that. Can we pass the feather?
Yeah. In fact, let's pass the feather to everyone. Let's just, as we always do. And once again, when the feather comes to you, offer what's on your mind, whatever's sparking or idea or a question, or you can pass, but then also you choose who gets the feather next. So Aubrey, why don't you pass the feather?
Yeah, why don't we start with Chris?
Thanks. I like this topic. In fact, I absolutely love this topic. It's something that I started the year out wanting to find grace for myself. And I realized very quickly that that starts with finding gratitude in every situation of my life. And so I started doing that. I started looking for gratitude in everything. The drivers that piss me off, the warm sunshine, the dog that I don't like, the work I have to do, the delicious food I'm eating. And I started to realize and feel love for everything. I started seeing the positive and stuff, and it was very uplifting for me. And it's kind of changed my outlook on a lot of things. And I've loved that part about it. But the part that hit me the most was as I was trying to come to terms with myself, I realized that that's the one I need to love the most. And it was like the keystone. As soon as I realized, give myself gratitude, give myself grace, love me, for my imperfections, for my perfections, for who I am, man, life just started looking a lot better. And I realized as soon as I could find that grace for myself, it's so much easier to see it in everybody else and to feel that love. And so it's been a topic on my mind all year long as I've sought to accept me for me and love all the parts. And so I'm interested to see what else you have to say. So that's what I have. Gratitude has been a real blessing to me this year. So I'll pass the feather to Danielle.
Okay, I figured it out faster this time. It's good to see your face, Chris, and all of you. I've actually been teaching a lot about heart stuff lately as well. Teaching some chakra classes and some radical self-acceptance stuff. And the heart is such an interesting place energetically because, as Aubrey mentioned with the toroidal field, it's the chakra where energy moves in all directions. And as Chris mentioned, like beginning with pointing that love and compassion and forgiveness to self is so powerful. And that's really where love has to begin for it to be pure and sustainable, I think. Yeah, I one thing I've been teaching with is a meditation called the Four-Chambered Heart. I recommend everybody look that up if you've never done that meditation. It's fabulous. I just don't recommend listening to Hugh Milne's guided version because while he's brilliant, and I believe he actually wrote this meditation, his verbal one gets very strange, and he goes into this subliminal state and is like, relax, be fully open and forgiving and loving of yourself. In fact, if you have to pee, just go ahead and pee right now. And give permission to pitch yourself, which is an awkward image to draw up in the middle of a guided meditation. So I don't recommend that version, but the idea is just really sitting with these different aspects of heart, like strength of heart, clarity of heart, innocence of heart, and what's the fourth one? It's escaping me right now, but there's so many different aspects of love, self-love, and love of others that are just really powerful. I love heart stuff.
Mhm. You want to pass it, Dan?
Yeah, I have to pass the feather. Sorry. I would love to hear from Gina.
Oh, I think Gina dropped out.
Oh yeah, Gina vanished.
Let's go with Susie then.
For me, I had an interesting weekend with my heart. It was a very joy-filled experience, but at the same time, my heart was also experiencing sadness, just being away from my family and my husband. And I think I'm just in this journey to sort of figuring that out. But I think this conversation that's happening right now with everybody is really, really helping me. I've just taken notes from everyone who's spoken so far, and I'm just going to implement that. But I know I have to keep loving me, and I just have to forgive me and just continue putting myself first, for what I need to do in my journey. But it's okay to still it's okay to be sad. I think at the end of the day, it's still okay to be sad in my journey. And it's hard to describe, but everything comes back to the heart. And I was really feeling my heart in so many different ways. And I think the heart is a wonderful thing. And I'm so happy I have one. All right. I pass the feather to Ricardo.
Honestly, I am kind of just, it's okay to pass.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just observing for today is what I prefer. I love it. It's great so far. I
So pass
appreciate
the
it.
feather.
It's an honor to be here. I will go with Danielle.
Danielle went already.
So you've got
Uh,
Joshua or Maria.
go with Maria.
Thank you. So I want to share with you something that you will see the connection with this, with the heart. Last week, I did a healing session as a client. And I remember the healer telling me, you will need some water, just a quiet space, and also bring a stethoscope. Is that the correct name in English?
Yeah.
Stethoscope? And I thought, wait, what? I mean, what do I need that? Is a healing session online? So I really don't understand. And it was such a deep healing session. I completely forgot about that. And then at the end of the session, that person told me, do you want to meet God? I mean, God, energy, universe, whatever. And I say, what do you mean meeting God? Do you mean physically? Like, I found that a really weird question. So I don't know where are you going with that. And she told me, bring the stethoscope. So, okay, I have the stethoscope here. And then he said, okay, let's use it. So put the stethoscope and put it in your heart. Feel your heart. Listen to your heart. So this is God within you. And it was so magical, that moment. It's like, it is so easy, really, to understand that we have this power within. And this was like, and she asked me to do that for a couple of minutes every morning and every night. So it's like first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And it's like, yeah, this is fast and at the same deep connection with my heart.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I hear you say, Aubrey, about the importance of being heart-centered. So let's start the day with this in mind, and let's finish the day with, again, with this in mind.
Absolutely.
So that's my experience with the stethoscope.
Thank you, Maria.
Sharing, Maria. That was wonderful.
Mhm.
I think Josh is the last one.
Yeah, I'm currently dealing with the fallout of acting against my heart. I've created quite a mess for myself. It's very difficult for me right now to like, I'm accepting what I've done. I guess that's the first part. But I'm not to the gratitude stage at fucking all. For falling away from integrity, or any of that. It's in there somewhere, but I don't want to expound like too much. It'll, it's not a therapy, an individualized therapy session. So I'm not having a good time with it. I recognize the value. I recognize the recognition. Uh, Shit sucks right now,
Yeah.
and I put myself here, and it's up to me to get myself out, like the salmon flopping up the fucking ladder, and that's it. That's it. I'm not grateful for where I'm at right now. You know, but maybe at some point I will be when it's beyond when I'm past it. Maybe that'll be great. But
Thank you, Josh.
yep,
Thanks for being honest.
thank
and
you.
Thanks for being present with us. This is a safe place for that.
Yes, sir.
Totally. And we'll get on a call. I know we've been playing tag this week, so we'll keep
Yeah,
going.
it's all good, brother. I know we will.
Gina, do you
Moving
have any-
along. Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Gina, were any sparks about heart? We were just a little share about heart work, following our heart.
I had to reboot the whole computer and move to a new room on another computer because it just not sure. It was an interesting morning, Aubrey, after you got off the call with us, Susie and myself and another lovely woman, Arlene. We had an interesting experience where y'all don't know Arlene, but she's a wonderful supernova self. We're similar in age, and we've been working together for over a year now. And when we first started working together, I kept seeing her like this big golden retriever, very excited about everything and moving through her energies and stuff. And today she was describing feeling like I haven't had that feeling about her for quite a number of months. And today she brought up this feeling that she was having of like a dog looking through a white picket fence at the family she used to love, care, and take care of, and how she wasn't there anymore. And all of a sudden, I saw myself as this little boy looking at her, this beautiful golden retriever, through a fence. And I was like, oh my God, I was there. It was really an amazing thing and quite healing for both of us.
Awesome.
There's my heart story for today.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you for that very much. I think we can all feel that for sure. Thanks.
Yes.
A couple things I'd like to do. Some of you are familiar with the work of heart math. You know, like a major, if you don't know heart math, look up heart math. There's all kinds of heart journey, heart work, meditations and workshops and processes to be learned and enjoyed in the world of heart math coaching, certifications, all kinds of things. I was working last night with one of their processes, which is the Freeze Framer, which is a patented heart math process. And what I'd like to do, it's a quick one. I'm going to ask, it's basically, I want to ask 5 questions or 5 steps to engage your heart. And so what I'd like you to do is, this will just take a few minutes, but I want you all to just, first of all, feel Mother Earth underneath you. That the gravity, the consistency, the confidence of Mother Earth's gravity holding on to us every moment. And I would like you to think about something that is challenging you right now. Something could be a problem or a challenge or something you haven't worked out, a puzzle, something that has your attention enough. Because I know that struggle and pain is really a gigantic measure of our ability to love gigantically. Because if you did not love it, you would have forgotten about it by now. So there's something you're struggling with, or something that's a challenge. I want you to think about something, whatever it is. And next thing I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and ask your body, your physical body, your kinesthetic body, where do you feel this issue in your body? where it, like literally the physical location in your belly, is it in your heart? Is it in your shoulders? Wherever it is, just notice where this challenge is residing in your body. And then take a moment and see if you can figure out what color is it? And what size is it? And perhaps what texture? And maybe a weight. And maybe a temperature. This energy, it's energy. Everything is energy. So this challenge, this puzzle, this problem, this thing you're working on that you haven't figured out yet, feel it in your body. And then I'm going to just ask as a way to measure, because the things that we do not measure do not change. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no problem at all, 10 being a royal pain in the butt. On a scale of 1 to 10, just notice, how big is this challenge for you right now? Is it kind of easy, or is it really hard? Is that something you can do today, or is it something that's going to take a long time? That 1 to 10, just make a noticing of that. And now what I want you to do with your eyes closed is imagine taking that energy, its shape, its size, its temperature, its weight, and take it out of your body and move it in front of your body. So it's no longer inside of you, it's now in front of you. And there it is. And so it is in front of you. It's just energy and your imagination. Imagine that you can imagine moving this energy in front of you. And now I want you to imagine that you can imagine you just built a custom box, the perfect box, with all the room it needs, with all of its compartments and all of its custom padding, everything you need to have all of its parts protected. Now this is in a box in front of you. And there it is. And now I want you to move it just a little further away, still seeing what's in the box as if one of the sides is open. You can still see what's in the box. And now I want you to disassociate. And what does that mean? Is I want you to see your own body in the box with your challenge. So now there you are in front of you with your challenge. And now I want you to move that entire box with your body in it and all of the energy and the weight and the tension up and to the right. You're moving the entire box up and to the right. So now it's a little further away and not directly in front of you. It is now up and to the right. And now once it's there, let's do a little heart breathing. I want you to breathe. Imagine every inhale that you're breathing with your heart. As you inhale, it comes in through your heart, right in the middle of your chest. Nice big inhale into your heart. All the way up, fill all the way up. And then exhale from your heart. Let go of what no longer serves you. Inhale the goodness of the universe and the love of Mother Earth. And then exhale your gratitude to the world for your life and your vitality and your engagement and your ability to love gigantically. And then breathe in again with your heart. And breathe out again with your heart. As every breath moves in and out of your heart center, this creates a physiological coherence, calming your nervous system and creating a centered and balanced state. So once again, nice big breath in with your heart and nice big breath out with your heart. And now, the space in your body where this challenge used to be, let's fill it with feelings of love. And let's fill it with feelings of gratitude and appreciation and joy and happiness. Focus on these high vibration emotions and make them bigger and make them brighter. fill yourself up with gratitude and joy, appreciation, happiness, love, thankfulness. Every step enhances this coherence, raising your overall vibration and aligning you with a state of emotional clarity and resilience and vitality. You are alive. Your heart is alive. It is vital. Your heart beats and beats and beats and beats. And now with this well being full, once again, I want you to feel your feet on the floor and the chair underneath you and the gravity of Mother Earth. And I want you to now revisit the box with your challenge, with you in it from a new perspective. Turn the box sideways and roll it around and move it to a new place and see it from a new direction. With this love and gratitude in your heart and that challenge and you in front of you, revisit this with a new perspective. With your heart in a coherent and elevated state, return to the box containing the problem and look at it from this new perspective, which allows you to see new solutions, new possibilities, and new options. Stuff that you may have missed when you were emotionally entangled. New options, new pathways. And now I'm just going to be quiet for a moment, and I want you to harvest your learnings from this new perspective. Looking at this challenge, what can you see now that you could not see before? What possibilities are in your mind that were not there before? What became possible that was not possible 20 minutes ago? And just kind of harvest that for a minute. And when you've got a couple of your learnings, come back in the room, open your eyes, and give me a little wave so I know you're back. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being back. Thank you, Ricardo. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Let's pass the feather around and let's make it kind of short. We got 15 minutes left, and I want to close with I have a little something I want to give you as well. But how was that for you? Anybody want to pop in? Anybody want to have something to share about your learnings, about maybe something that you didn't know before? Just anybody who's.
I like to say little something is it also it resonates a little bit with me, and it kind of gives me like something I have learned personally with my mother, and to be specific recently is just, you know, like being happy and being in a great state, you know, and that's mostly just being present and, you know, being part of something also, and having kind of sort of like a meaning, something, a purpose in a sense, and be happy is to be at peace. So, you know, I really felt that today, and that's how it all resonates with me. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Thanks, Ricardo.
First.
Anybody else? What'd you learn? Did you discover something new? Chris, yeah, hi.
Guess I can say something. Once I stuck the problem to the right, well, in a box in my own body, up to the right and up there, and started looking, breathing through the heart, I realized the problem is something that can be solved and fixed. I just need to act and do it. And acting and do it is going to make this problem that sometimes feels really big and heavy, it's really not that bad. It's something that can be overcome. And I chose a problem that wasn't that great to begin with, just for the exercise, but man, it applies to a lot of problems. So that's what I got.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. Anybody else?
I'll talk. My problem was this ongoing issue with my business partner. He's one of my best friends as well. And I'm just noticing all of these circumstances where, as a friend, I love and adore him. He's like a brother to me, but as a business partner where co-creation is involved, I want to kick him into another fucking country. And so that issue as a shape in my body was in the shape of Russia in my head, which is just funny because he identifies as a communist, which, like, in the best sense of the word, and then acts in all of these super capitalist fucking asshole ways. And I'm like, pick a goddamn path. Anyway, so Russia was just this cold, icy little Russia out of my body in a Russia-shaped box. And I loved having that out of my body. I did not enjoy being in the box with Russia. But then I realized, okay, except that it's no longer occupying space within me. I'm occupying space within it. And it gave me this sense of not necessarily control, but control over my feelings about it, and realizing what is and is not in my control about this situation. And when I really think about it, the things that upset me about him are things that I'm expecting him to be because we're trying to create something together, instead of acknowledging who he actually is and accepting him for what that is. And that these are projects that I want to create are not necessarily best to create with him. And that's okay. So then all of a sudden, Russia went from like black and icy cold to like kind of shiny and bright colored. And it was almost as if like he was seen by me finally, and yet still not in my body. So then all of a sudden, when I stepped out of the box and moved it again and shifted it to another perspective, Russia got really, really, really small and tiny. And I was like, okay, this is not my monkey's not my zoo, really. Like, I want him to succeed as an instructor, and he acts like a douchebag. So he'll either learn, which the best way to learn to not be egotistical in a classroom is through your students. It's not any feedback I can give him. And he'll learn or he won't. And that's his journey. It doesn't have to be mine. And just having that out of my body allowed my head then to become a brain where I get to think about my own stuff. So it was just great. I really appreciated that exercise. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, there's something really powerful about energies in our body and then removing ourselves, and then the disassociation of, okay, I'm in it, I'm associated, and now I'm going to put it out of my body and I'm going to see myself in the problem. I'm now disassociated. That means I have my sovereignty. I have my sovereignty. I can think, I can see more pictures, I can see more options. Yes, exactly right, Danielle. Exactly right. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else has something else before we start to wrap up our circle today? Any other learnings?
I have something I'd like to share. This was an experience I actually had in ceremony this last weekend that I wanted to kind of finish up my thoughts from earlier with. I had this moment during ceremony that was really poignant, and it happened at the very, very end. All of it was very amazing, but I was being shown some of the ways that I've let down my children. And my son's energy actually came to me, and he basically handed me this piece of myself. He was like, "This isn't mine and you're putting it on me. Can you take it back, please?" And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing that to my children, and like all, like there was this really, really deep, deep sense of shame and regret that wanted to come up. And my son was standing there like, no, don't do that. I'll take it. It's fine. And I'm like, no, okay. What do I need to do here? And it was, I needed to take that piece of myself back and love the part of myself that let my children down. And I did, and it was hard. It was really, really hard to find that piece of me that had been very selfish and in a point when my children really didn't need me to be there for them. Instead, I chose into things that didn't help our lives grow and flourish. And every single part of me that was the person that created those circumstances for myself and made those choices, I was able to kind of bring in and set the example of loving. And I think that as we go through our heart healing, which is an everyday practice, we never stop healing our hearts. It feels very hard to love the parts of you that really let other people down or really harmed other people. And it's the only way through. It's the only way to stop doing those things, and it's one of those things that only you can do for yourself. Nobody else can love you for you. Everyone can love you, and the universe does love you. But you can't fully receive that until you actually take the steps to receive your own love.
Yeah. Good. Very good. All right, well, we've got just 6 or 7, 8 minutes before the top of the hour. And so I want to wrap up our session today with some wisdom that comes from indigenous folklore about how do you know that you're alive? How do you know that your heart is working? How do you know that you're doing things well? So I do a lot of study about, cultural indigenous spirituality and healing practices. This is one of the things I've geeked out on since I was a little kid. And when we track things like that we do not measure does not change. So it's good to measure. I think I said that earlier today. And so this is one of the questions that came up in a workshop I was doing, is that how do we track our inner journey and our outer journey? How do we know especially when we're wrapped up in it? And so one of these tools is called the 4 rivers. Track the 4 rivers of life. So how do you know you're alive? You know you're alive when these 4 rivers are flowing in you. So I'm going to teach you these 4 rivers of life. And the first river of how you know you're alive is the river of inspiration. It's the experience of being expanded and uplifted, inspired, imagination, intuition, attraction, ignition, energy. So who and what are your sources of inspiration? And is this river flowing in balance with the other 3 rivers? Are you inspired every single day? The river of inspiration. The second river of how you know you're alive is the river of challenge. The river of challenge, the experience of being able to be tested and challenged. Challenge, it's your invitation to grow again. When you're loving gigantically and love says, okay, you now love enough to do the next task. You now love enough to conquer the challenge. The only way out is through. To move beyond the familiar and the knowable and grow and stretch again. So who or what is stretching you? The river of challenge. So the river of challenge, also these first steps of going out the door into the unknown, the courage, the bravery to do I'm going to release what no longer serves me, even though I'm sentimental, and I'm going to walk naked into the realm of the unknown, the act of creativity. That's part of the challenge. And the third river of how you know you're alive is the river of surprise. Surprise! Something shows up unannounced, unexpected. The experience of being connected to the divine child within you. The divine child within you, the wonder, the whoa, wow, like only children do. Birthday surprises and fireworks and ice cream and midnight. The river of surprise, curiosity, what will happen next? When we welcome the unexpected and the spontaneous, the coyote and the trickster, the path maker, they wake us up out of apathy and lethargy and cynicism and control and return us back to the magic kingdom. The divine child is always holding the hand of the wounded child. I love that phrase. The divine child is always holding the hand of the wounded child. Surprise. Right. And the fourth river is the river of love. And that's what we've been talking about, heart, today. The river of love, clear heart, deeply touched, deeply moved. My heart is still open. What happens when our heart is open? Daniel mentioned the four-chambered heart. And I like to think about that. I know that meditation, and this is a similar but different spin. Four-chambered heart, the full heart. How do you know when your heart is full? The open heart. How do you know when your heart is open? The clear heart. How do you know when you are clear-hearted? And the strong heart. How do you know when you are strong-hearted? The four-chambered heart. You know, so doubt, where in your life are you half-hearted? Or you've outgrown a situation or in the wrong place. Doubt is a time to wait. Clarity is a time to take action. A closed heart rather than an open heart. Where are you closed in your heart versus open in your heart? And a weak heart where you lack the courage to be who you are versus a strong heart, all the courage not to hide who you are. So there's the four rivers. I've come back to that a lot in my life. The river of inspiration, the river of challenge, the river of surprise, and the river of love. So with that, let's pass the feather one more time and start to say farewell for today. What did you learn? What are you taking away? What's different for you today? Yeah. Ricardo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I've honestly come to a little bit more of an understanding through everybody and talking and sharing their parts to it. Kind of helps me understand a little bit about how my heart works and how I feel, and like it kind of like an understanding to really be able to get my words out there and like what it is that I resonated with everybody. And I really love the open heartness about it, and just like how everybody really feels comfortable in this session, and it makes me feel comfortable as well. So I just wanted to share that, and I love
Okay.
it.
Pass the feather, Ricardo.
I would like to pass the feather to Danielle.
Thank you. I just want to thank Aubrey for her vulnerable share. I think that it's really, really good and important work to acknowledge where we've let people down and where that, you know, for all intents and purposes is unintentional, and being able to hold forgiveness for ourselves. I think when I've done that work, the next step is that it always reminds me that, gosh, maybe all the people who have hurt me and put stuff on me that caused harm didn't mean to do it. And it recenters me in that open-heartedness of, we're all doing our best. It's hard to think that when we look around at so much chaos in the world, but I really do believe that we're all doing our best.
Great.
Same. Yeah, me too. Pass the feather, Daniel.
Maria.
What is possible for me now that was not possible 1 hour ago is to reconnect with the magic and give, so create room for magic in my day, and believe that every single action can be magical. Maybe it's just the taking advantage of this time change that we experienced in Europe before America, and being here present with you today. So thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Pass the feather.
Pass
Maria.
the feather, Maria.
So I pass the feather to Susie.
Thanks, Maria. It was just really interesting. I feel after this conversation, I feel more like I'm on my path than ever. I know I mentioned, traveling and being sad and being away, but I think this conversation's given me a lot of courage and bravery to continue. For example, I just came across this person from the history, Joan of Arc. She had a vision when she was about 12, 13 years old, and that was actually her waking up. And she actually cried and wanted to go home because she understood everything at that time. And she didn't go home. She stayed and she followed her path, and she did what was asked of her, and she did what she needed to do for herself. So I want to, follow that example and follow my heart path, and with courage and bravery like she did. So that's my share. And Danny, you had a beautiful share. Aubrey, you did as well. Thank you both so much.
Pass the feather, Susie.
And I pass the feather to Gina.
I'm sorry that I missed so much of everyone's sharing earlier today. But being here with you all every week is just a beautiful, heartfelt space for me to remind me to stay in touch with myself and my heart, and stay in gratitude and joy. It just makes every day so much more special. So,
Thank you, Gina.
and Chris.
The thing that I caught here at the end was Loki, the Norse god. Why is he important? Why do we need that guy? How does he fit into all of this? Well, it's the river of surprise. Go through life and all these experiences pop up. You always want the good ones, but then all of a sudden you get something that was totally unexpected that messes everything up. If you're trying to live in the moment, if you're just trying to learn something from it, man, that's just those times when you react and just go with it. Realize it's part of the human experience. Just fill in these little trickster things, right? And I don't know. I just really like that part. Expect the unexpected, accept it, and just roll with it. And it's something that, as my wife and I celebrate our 30th anniversary, we look back at, our time together. It's like, and it's just been one big long moment. It hasn't been 30 years. It's been one big long moment, and ups and downs and unexpected twists. And yeah, Loki's been there. We can see that, and I love that. So I'm learning to embrace that, the unexpected, and roll with it. So I'll pass the feather to Josh if he's still there.
Yeah, I'm around. Even during that whole exercise, I'm in a lot of physical pain, so it's hard to divorce. It's very difficult to disassociate from physical pain without external means. Loki is Coyote. Loki is Heyoka. The reverse of what you thought was happening, which also leads to trauma. I don't know. I'm reassociating now. I don't really know that I have a lot of coherence to add right now. I'm kind of yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. More further.
Right on.
Further. That's all, I guess.
Well, stay on the call with me after we're done for a minute. We'll set something up.
All right, sounds good.
Let's see. Has everybody spoken?
So,
Aubrey. Comes to you, Aubrey.
Well, I'm just my heart is I don't want to take too much time because we are now getting past lunch hour, but I wanted to just thank everybody so much for coming. This was such a really I set the intention before we started today to keep this. I mean, we're talking about heart and openness, and so I really set my energy in the container here to set the tone of an open heart, and I feel like everybody then responded and then opened it even wider. So I'm just so grateful for all of you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good job.
Right on. Well, you know, we want to hear from you guys. You know, if there's things you're working on or there's topics that you would like us to jump into on your own journeys, you know, let us know. And also if you've got an offering of your own that you want to bring some goodness or a teaching or a learning to the group, we want to know that too. Because we're stronger together than we'll ever be stronger. So, all right, everybody. This has been Creators Creating, and we've talked about love in our hearts today. And we did a little heart math by freezing the problem and then coming at it from a new perspective. Then we talked about the 4 rivers of how do you know you're alive. So thanks for a nice lunchtime chat, everyone. Thanks for being here. All right, everyone. I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna come back around. We're gonna see you next week. Feel free to invite some friends, and we'll be in touch. I'm Corey Three Wing with Aubrey Cardone. This is Creators Creating. We'll see you next week.
Next week.